Hello. The sources that were assigned for reading and watching, and then also like the various different like IQ or personality tests, I feel like that they contribute to a lot of different things when thinking about like myself and other people. Um, Firstly, I feel like the TED Talks kind of give a good indication that the personality tests and the IQ tests are not necessarily the most accurate when specifically determining a concrete or, one size fits all model for IQ, intelligence, or personality. Obviously, IQ and personality are things that, especially IQ tests, are something that have been controversial, especially in their inception and what they've been used for. Um, but one thing that I feel like across the board with all these different sources that applies is that psychology plays a very big role, since a lot of these things were, developed and thought out by psychologists from like the 19th century, especially like as the sources say, Binet and Carl Jung, which are very influential for the two different sides of that. And of course, those two ideas with intelligence tests and personality types and all that kind of stuff comes into play when deciphering, and in regards to education and teaching, who might be fit for certain teaching jobs and things like that. But of course, at the same time, I feel like, and in my opinion, those things aren't 100% the thing that determines what is most important when it comes to analyzing who would be or would not be a good teacher, like across the board. I feel like for myself, those things don't fully determine my intelligence or my personality perfectly. It doesn't do a good job at exactly narrowing down who I am. And I also feel like it makes sense that not only are IQ tests and personality tests not accurate for me, it's also not accurate for all people across the board in determining, what they are and who they are based on their, different cultures and where they're from. Because again, none of this type of stuff is like a one size fits all type of concept or thing. And I feel like psychology would allow you to understand that that's the case. And I think also, just to wrap up, I feel like the article in regards to understanding what ways could be good for, figuring out who a good teacher is, and using like that NFL type of model and the scouting idea and determining who could be good for certain things makes sense. Because again, like I feel like there are a lot of ways that, just schooling and testing and things like that, and it doesn't determine how good everybody's going to be all the time. And there aren't exact ways to determine like who's going to be good at what just based on what skills they show initially. And people can be successful or unsuccessful regardless of a multitude of different things. So that's just my feelings and my thoughts on the sources.